So maybe comment on that.
My name is James Hunter. I'm here to give a speech on wolves. Wolves are beautiful animals, and I believe they definitely have a place in the ecosystem. I've read a lot of articles studying these animals that they reintroduced into Idaho. The one thing I saw was the federal government blatantly didn't take into account that Idaho already had a wolf population making a comeback. According to Tim Kemery, a graduate of U of I with a BS in Range Management Science in 1982, he did a study of wolves in Idaho from 1984 through 1995, showing that Idaho had a native wolf population. He said it was a small but still growing. The main difference between the native Rocky Mountain wolf and the reintroduced Canadian wolf is that the native wolf is much shyer and less aggressive. Native wolves would avoid human contact at all costs. Canadian wolves are not afraid of humans at all. In fact, they've been known to be seen eating out of dog food dishes on back porches while people were still there. Not to mention the size difference. Native females average 55 to 70 pounds, and males average 85 to 105 pounds. And the Canadian wolves average 60 to 85 pounds, females, and males average between 90 and 120 pounds. Canadian wolves are also very versatile. They range from the high mountains to the deserts. The native wolf primarily sticks to the higher elevations. Their hunting and eating habits are quite different also. The native wolf's primary diet was moles, rabbits, small birds, and things like that. The Canadian wolf's primary diet is elk, deer, moose, larger animals. They are very territorial also, killing just about anything they feel threatening their territory, such as coyotes, dogs, mountain lions, and even bears. Tim Kemery's studies show that the Canadian wolf kills from 3 to 5 prey for every one they eat. In certain districts, they have reported anywhere from 82 to 85% elk population loss. Now, there are a lot of different and conflicting information out there on the reinstated wolves. I have read articles from both sides, and both have been quite extreme sometimes. But the information I have given here has been the closest to that from the IDFG, the Idaho Department of Fish and Game. But most of the information I read is not accurate. The IDFG says that their count on the wolf population is on the low side. IDFG says there are only about 746 wolves in Idaho. Now, on the other hand, an extremist against the wolves say there is more like 4,000. I myself, being an avid hunter, have seen signs of wolves just about everywhere I've hunted, from Grimes Creek to Lost Lake Reservoir. Here is a chart showing all the locations where wolves have been sighted. From as far north as the Canadian border, and as far south as just outside of Boise. And it's from the east side of the state to the west side of the state and beyond. Not saying that I believe there are 4,000 wolves here, but I do believe there are more than just 746. I believe the count to be somewhere in between. According to SkinnyMoose.com, the wolf reintroduction has been very controversial. The federal government has put the wolves on and taken them off the endangered species list 4 or 5 times between January of 2006 and April of 2011, until President Obama signed papers saying they were no longer endangered. They have tried some non-lethal ways to deter wolves from attacking farm animals, but they only work temporarily. Even relocating problem wolves is temporary. The removed wolves are just replaced by other wolves, and the problem usually starts over again. Archery hunters who like to call in elk and deer should be very careful when doing so. On skinnymoose.com, I read an article on a female archery hunter calling for elk. She got quite a big surprise. She did not call an elk in like she was trying, but she called in a 120-pound male wolf that kept on charging her, even after realizing the woman was human. At about 10 yards, the woman shot the wolf with her sidearm. This was up by Nez Perce, Idaho. Now, I've barely touched the surface on wolves here in Idaho. There is a lot more information out there. All you have to do is look. A good place to start would be www.idahofishandgame.org. In my conclusion on the information I have read, I would say that the introduction of the Canadian wolf was a huge mistake. They are way too aggressive of a wolf and not where they should be. I am by all means for the wolf to make a comeback. But put the native breed back and listen to people who know what they're talking about, not people who are bleeding hearts and don't know what they are talking about. Now I'd like to leave you with a few pictures of the carnage these wolves have put here have done. Sorry in advance for the graphic nature of the pictures.